Hey guys, Bulwark here with another video. This time I wanted to see what I could do with base building. First thing I ended up doing was this track over here, just so we had somewhere to ride dirt bikes and just have a little race going on for the guild. This is going to be a separate fief, so you'll see obviously it's quite tall, suspended it up in the air. Try to make it as fun as possible just for, a little bit of racing out here. But the main thing would be this base right here. This thing took too many hours to build. Basically, I wanted to see what the extent of the building was in this game as far as how high and how large of a base I could build. As you can tell, it's so big that even these tiles are dropping frame rate a little bit, but it's definitely a lot of fun to build. The main thing is going to be, your main entrance here, all kinds of stuff going on up there. Down below is going to be just kind of the structure, and then I guess you could call it a basement at this point. Kind of shows all the different pylons and stuff I did for stability and stuff to keep it, to the point that I can build it as high as I want. Now the inside, I'll show you guys in just a second. First, let's just take a look at the whole outside here. Got a little parking garage there for people, a bunch of little hubs that stick out the side. If you have a big guild, you can have different people living in each one of these different things. The only problem that you're going to run into for the most part is going to be filling in the blank space and the lighting, especially with these Harko bases. I wanted to make it look as industrial as possible, so not a whole lot of sunlight and stuff coming in there. Unfortunately, pretty much the only sunlight that I have comes in through these top roofs right here, these little circular ones with the holes cut out the top. And as you'll see once we go inside, it does get a little bit darker. I got a little bit of lighting up here. I haven't taken the time to decorate this just because with how laggy it kind of makes the area, I'll probably end up just deleting the whole thing. I have a whole guild base right here next to this, so I don't want to, just make everyone lag out all the time. But I figured I might as well just get the build done, check it out a little bit. You can see I got a little bit of lighting in here. Doesn't really help much. I'll do a clip in a minute of what it looks like at nighttime in here, and it is just impossible to see anything. Unfortunately, with, I think it's, the 55 cap for how many lights you can have, I don't think there's any realistic way to actually light this place up properly. I did want to do all these nice, spiral staircase, kind of make it look like, it's a big open space with a bunch of weird staircases going on. Here's just, another one of these little side things. Like I said, if you have a big guild, I'm sure you could, put different people in each one of these and they could have their own little house and room and stuff like that inside of the actual guild base. But in the meantime, we'll just keep running around, check out everything in here. This is an extremely tall base. There's so much room that you could put stuff in here. Obviously, if you really wanted to make it a livable base, you could do different layers and kind of set it up to the point where you have different stations per layer, things like that. But this was more so just something fun for me to do, so I didn't go too crazy on it. The main thing was trying to get all these designs out of it, and kind of leaves a little bit of a wonky thing these places, but it'll be alright. This is basically the top floor here, and as you can see, it is pretty high up. Figured if I did keep this base, I'll just make this level up here for myself, put whatever I need up here, and then if anyone else wants to use it, just keep them to the lower levels and stuff. But yeah, it's just an absolute monstrosity all the way around. It's such a huge base, it is crazy that you're allowed to do this much. I would love it if the devs gave, more lighting and stuff like that. Because it's what's really the point of building something this large? It'd be absolutely sick to have a guild base like this. But you can't really see shit in here when it gets dark, so like I said, I'll show you a clip of that in a second, but just kind of wanted to show the layout of it, how big it is, just get an idea of what the base looks like. And then I'll go ahead and just cut over to what nighttime looks like for y'all so you can see. I don't really recommend building anything this large, but, it's fun. Have a little bit of time to kill, get something to do. Sit out here and just farm a little bit of plastone and build it up. A lot of awesome things that you can do in this game with building. think you're kind of, like I said, just limited by the lighting as far as that goes. Yep, I'll go ahead and just pause here for a second and we'll cut over to what it looks like at nighttime. Alright guys, here we are back to the same base at nighttime. Now you can kind of see what I was talking about, how I obviously don't have all the lights out here yet. I could brighten it up just a little bit, but it is just crazy dark in here. Like, you literally cannot see shit from across the base. Fortunately, you know, the view distance of the lights is pretty short as it is, and when you have such a large base like this, it's really only going to be lighting up, you know, in like a 1x1 or 2x1 grid around the light itself. So then you just end up with, you know, just a huge dark base where you can't see shit. Unfortunately, I don't want to open it up too much to get like natural light in here and stuff, just because I like the aesthetics of this, but you know, you kind of stuck with either you're using a lot of sunlight to brighten the place up, or you just end up running out of lights and you just have a nice dark home to live in. But hopefully you guys like the build. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks everyone for watching.